Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Chris with the C. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Soldering irons might not be important to some people because obviously you might have your connections done by hobby shops and stuff like that. But for me personally, I like to try and solder everything that, you know, any electrical connection I can myself. Now in this little bag here was my previous soldering setup, and it's done me all right up until now. 2 years on the trot, a little soldering iron, and it's okay, but I am noticing its limitations recently, and the idea of this video is we purchased the DSS Pro 150. Now when I say we, Robbie from 10B RC, me and him actually are going speed running, and he's not very good at soldering himself, so he said, Chris, would you mind doing it for me? We'll get hold of a decent soldering iron, and yeah, basically you can do it. Now I've seen lots of reviews on this soldering iron. One of them that stood out to me was Tom Lee's. Guys, I don't need to mention who he is. You guys will know him. Phil, very, very nice guy, and really good at what he does. Very good at reviews and stuff like that. And I seen this, and he had a compelling kind of outlook to it. Now, what he mentioned in there was when he went to ROSSA, he was going to be using QS8 connectors, and that's something that obviously we're going to be using in our speedrun builds when we go to ROSSA. Myself, Robbie, I believe Andrew Casey might be, and I know Larry from L to the W is coming over from America. Now, I am part of the Team Corrali kind of affiliate program. And I took advantage of seeing this on the web page, and we actually bought this. Okay, the DSS Pro 150 is 150 watt soldering iron. Now, why does that make a difference? When soldering, okay, you need to try and keep a constant heat to your wires to kind of allow for the solder to flow a lot easier. And I was struggling like mad a lot of the time with the soldering iron that I had previously. So he demonstrated on his video quite well on how this works for him. And I thought, well, look, if it works for him, it's going to work for us. Now, I'm not 110% the best at soldering, but as time goes by, you know, obviously your skill levels increase, more practice, and I thought, well, now we've got the shed around us, now's the time to actually purchase one. So what I'm going to do here, I'll compare quickly this soldering iron for you and this one here, and why it makes a difference. So I think what we'll do now is start unboxing this. I will unbox this, then I'll compare this with this, and then I'll show you the differences on how easy it is to solder with a decent soldering iron. Can't say fair in that, can I? I hope you're enjoying all the videos. Massive thanks to each and every one of you watching all the videos. Guys, I want to ask you a quick question. How many of you are subscribed to the channel that actually watch the videos? Now, it'd make a huge difference if you just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you nothing and means the world to myself. Honestly, you don't realise how much small creators rely on you guys out there just to get those notifications. Unfortunately, sometimes YouTube can be a bit of a pain in the backside, so hit the bell button as well. Right, come on then, let's dive down and we'll have a look. Right, okay, so I'm going to open the box up now. All right, now, as I mentioned, the cost of this here in the UK is between £70 and £75, okay? I purchased this directly from Team Corrali. Obviously, Team Corrali are based out of Belgium, and I wanted to try and get it here as quick as possible. Now, in all fairness to them, shipping, it only took me, I was roughly about 5 working days to actually get the soldering iron sent to me, and it's pretty much the same experience I've had right the way through the board when purchasing from them. Let's get rid of the wrapping. Okay, so one of the key features really with this, it does come with a carrying case, okay? It does come with also the kind of soldering tin holder. You've got these twin hand clamps. Now, why is that important? Okay, now as you're soldering, sometimes you may need like an extra pair of hands basically to just hold the wire, and that was something I was struggling with. I came up with all different wonderful solutions, some of which, for example, were actually when I'm doing bullet connections, was using this armor hex key here, I'm basically putting the bullet connection in there and obviously dipping my wire in. It worked great actually, to be honest with you, but sometimes it's just nice to have the right piece of equipment for the right job. Also comes with a soldering tip cleaner as well, so that basically, as you can see at the front here, you poke your soldering iron through, and it basically, there's a little bit of wire inside that basically cleans your tip off, and then you can carry on. Again, you've got the sponge underneath and obviously the station itself. So just opening the box up, 150 watts up to 500 centigrade. So it's you know, it's a pretty well spec'd soldering iron, this. Presentation straight away, I love the presentation. It's very much like my screwdriver that I had from Team Corrali. They come in these presentation boxes. Let me just check there's nothing else in there. No, there isn't. So we'll pop that over there a sec. Right. Okay. Nice little presentation box, as you can see. Nice that obviously you can keep everything all in one place, all your tools neat. You could take this with you, maybe if you're racing on track, keep it with you. Got a little hat carrying case as well, so yeah, good. Or maybe even you're traveling over to a friend, you know, just to solder a few connections for them. Absolutely brilliant. Just open it up now. Obviously we've got the zip. Inside, guys, is obviously your soldering iron. So as you can see, first thing you got there is the base. Now, it does come with an EU plug, all right? So you are going to need, obviously, something to put in there. So what I mean by that, you can get the UK ones, but I haven't found them in stock anywhere recently. Where have I got a connection for that? Let me just show you, 2 seconds. Okay. Oh. So, you are going to need an adapter, all right, if you're going to use this here in the UK. And what happens is basically the 2-prong plug goes on and then becomes obviously a standard UK connection there. So that's why I went with that one. It was in stock, so I've gone with that. You've got the sponge then for obviously the front. This is basically what you do with that is obviously wet that up, as you can see. Wet that up then obviously for cleaning your tip off. You've got the little cleaning port inside there, bit with your wire wool inside. You got the soldering iron, okay? Quite a nice size. We'll put that in there a moment, like so. Then you have your clamps. Now these screw on to the actual device. Let me just show you. Let me get everything else out of the box. We have some instructions, some safety instructions. They all come with the QR code, guys. 1-page manuals on Team Corrali. I definitely recommend you doing so. A little registration, got QR code as well for registering it. And what else have we got? Yeah, so that's pretty much about it in the box, all right? Nothing too fancy in there. You know, it doesn't come with huge amount of stuff. I'm going to move the box. Where should I move the box? Put the box on top of the Maverick for now. Now, just peel off the front here. Okay. Obviously, you got a potentiometer on the front. Now, what that is obviously a little turning wheel that will adjust the temperature of your soldering iron. So really, really neat, really tidy, nice looking. And on the sides then, with your helping hands, see these little brass inserts there? All right, so what you're going to do is when you need them, these then screw in the side. Like so. You can take them off if you want to. So that will then, as you're soldering a wire, obviously you've got a little crocodile clip on the side. I'm going to put these on actually. Let's just turn these on. Hope you're enjoying the videos from obviously the shed. I'm slowly and gradually getting it to where I want it to be. It's been snowing here today actually, so it's lovely looking out onto the mountain. But yeah, I'm slowly getting it to where I need it to be. I've got some OSB boards come in for the walls, and what else was it? I was trying to think. OSB boards, and the electrics are going in. So nice stout soldering tip. Sorry, you wonder why I'm looking down here. Is I've got a little screen down here, but your camera's here, so I'll put nice stout soldering tip. very ergonomic grip as well, obviously for gripping hold of while you're soldering, to make sure it's nice and steady. And then a nice long wire for your plug. So again, stability is definitely one of the things I'm noticing here as well, because with my old soldering iron setup, I'd be kind of looking for places to trying to put the soldering iron when I'm soldering. With this, obviously you put your tip in, there you go, and that's all safe and sound now. You're not going to be burning anything. Whereas with my old soldering iron, I was, let's just say it became a point where I was starting to burn things. Right. Now, I'm a little bit stumped what that's for over there. We need to have a look. You got the little flap on the front there for your wire. Obviously that, let me just show you. Okay, so there's your cleaning wire inside there. You put that over. And this is heat proof, this little rubber bung at the front. So the idea is when you're cleaning, what you can do, put your tip in there, clean it off, and then just give it a little dab on the sponge. Very, very nice. Very nice. 150 watts, guys. So that's actually quite a powerful soldering iron as well. Now, let's move all that out the way, and I'll show you the difference between the two. There you go. That's my old trusty soldering iron there. Now that, guys, was £5 on AliExpress. Now, in all fairness, it's done its job so far. I will keep it as a backup, all right? But it did come to its limitations, and I was constantly replacing tips. I believe the wattage on this one was 60 watts. So there's quite a big difference in heat transfer. So the idea is, with the wattage, is when you're, let's say you're resting on a wire, I'll get some wires out now in a minute to show you. Let's say you're resting on a wire. You want to transfer as much heat to that wire as quick as possible, all right? And keep it at a constant rate. Now, unfortunately, because these are only 60 watts, it takes longer, number one, to heat the wire up to get it to the temperature you need it to be. Number two, it's then keeping that temperature on the wire as well. So, you know, quite a big thing there really, is when you're adding solder, the wire will naturally want to cool itself down. I think what I'm going to do now is show you. I'll set it all up, I'll plug it all in, and I'll kind of guide you around it a little bit. But yeah, it's done me well so far. I've been through a couple of different iterations of the same thing. These always tend to last about a month or two. £5, yes, okay. But with the bigger wires, you could be sat there for ages. I'll see you in a second. Guys, so as you can see, we've got the DSS Pro 150 set up. We've got the helping hands. I'm going to try and demonstrate. So this black wire we're going to use with the DSS 150 Pro. Then I'll stop the camera, and then I'll start using my standard soldering iron with the same lead-free solder, all right, that we're going to be using on both. Now I'm going to pre-tin each one. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Now quickly, just to show you, now it's, there you go. Sorry, I do apologize. As you can see, I can adjust the temperature quite nicely here with this potentiometer. All right, so I normally solder around about 400 to 450. Depending on the application. Let me just turn it up. And one thing you'll notice is this soldering iron straight away reacts quickly to temperature change. All right, that's something I've already noticed. Let me just turn it up to where I normally would be. So there's 450, and there you can see the temperature is slowly rising up. Now I do apologize because it is an LED. Right, now this here is now at 450 watts, so that it's already, and you can feel the heat over the top of it, it's already ready to solder. So I'm going to give you a quick example of tinning this wire. So all I'm going to do is just hold, I'm going to put a little bit on the iron like so. There you go. And then all I'm going to do here is quickly tin this wire. There you go, and that's that cable already tinned. So that wire over there is all ready to rock and roll. Let's say I'm soldering some bullet connections on. I can actually, in fact, I could probably add a little bit more. It's very, very instant, easy to use. So I'm just going to clean the tip off, like we said. There you go. So that's all nice and clean now. I do need to wet this sponge up a second, so bear with me 2 seconds. So always clean the tip off. Alright, give it a little wipe and then pop that back in there, and that's what I like about it. So that one, so as you can see now, is all ready for a connection. The camera's not the best here. I think I'll swap to the phone in a moment just to show you the connection, but long short, that is already tinned. We haven't burnt any of the wire here. So I'm going to swap it over to this side now with my other soldering iron. I'm going to turn this one off a sec, and then we'll try doing the same thing with the cheaper soldering iron. So guys, just turning the cheaper soldering iron. Number one, it's very hard to see what it is actually saying on there, so I can't really read what's going on. There you go, now it's turned on. So it takes some time to heat up. Number one, 109, 131, 153, 176, 203, 234, 269, 326, 346, 389, 411. It's taking ages to get up to where it needs to be. 450. So I'm going to drop it down to 450. All right, because I've actually turned it up. So it's up 480 by there. It's going to take a little while. Yeah, 429. Let's take it back up again. Okay, 450. So I can smell that the soldering iron is starting to get warm. I'm going to place you back by here a second. Now, for me to add heat to this, as you can see, it's starting, but not really kind of there yet. Temperature keeps dipping. As you can see, the solder is just kind of on the edge of the tip there. There you go. So I'm now going to try, no other aids. I was using some of this pre-tin previously, so I'm no other aids here. I'm going to try and add the solder onto the wire. All right. Now, unfortunately, what I'm finding here is you'll have it on one side, but not the other, the heat transfer. So I'm having to mess about a little bit. And unfortunately, that solder has gone hard there. So let's place it back on. Now, I'm just going to place the soldering iron here a second. I just want to check this. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the back end of this wire here, all right, there's still not actually covered, whereas this one is tinned all the way around. So, and the heat off this wire is quite substantial. So, yeah, I mean, let's just turn the new soldering iron back on, because I'm done with using the cheaper one. Long short, what you're doing is aiding the heat transfer quicker to the wires to get a nice clean connection. Let's turn it back on. There you go. So I'll just there you go, look how quick that's going up in temperature. We're already at 450. So once again, I just want to kind of clean up this here now. Let's just feel the heat. We should be kind of there. Yeah, straight away. There you go. Much, much cleaner, much nicer, easier to do. Always keep your tip clean. Always keep the tip clean, okay? So yeah, as you can see, little demonstration. It's quite hard for me to do here because I haven't got any special tools or anything just to kind of demonstrate. I think maybe what I'll do now quickly is show you how quick I can get the bullet connector pre-tinned. Right guys, so I don't know if you can see here, this is how I would normally do my bullet connections. Now, plenty of people have got many different ways. I'm not going to use the helping hand because I don't particularly need to, but I'm going to pre-tin this bullet connection here, which is a typical connection you'd find on an EC5, all right? And then we're going to solder this wire in there. So I am still at 450. I'm not using any pre-tin or anything like that. All right, so soldering the tip is nice and clean. So all we're going to do now is just basically add some heat into the soldering iron. All right, like so. So the heat transfer is nice and quick and prompt. Okay, now all I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop this connection into there. So again, just clean off my soldering iron. So inside the solder goes nice and hot. Like so. Drop that in, nice and clean, EC5 connection. All right, now the only thing I have found different is getting used to this larger tip. All right, so it's something that obviously I've got to get used to. But that bit there now, oh, is a nice and sturdy EC5 connection there. That's not coming off anywhere, guys. All neat, very tidy, easy to use. Right, so welcome back. Is the DSS Pro 150 a good soldering iron? Yes, it is. As I demonstrated, very easy to use, and the heat transfer is instantaneous. And that's one of the things I kind of noticed straight away. Like, you have to wait for the cheaper soldering iron to warm up. When you're applying, obviously, the solder onto the wires, I would be more inclined to obviously be trusted with this connection over my other one. Now, I've never really had that clean a soldering joint before. Now, and that's being straight with you. The heat transfer is definitely, you can set and forget little blob of solder in there. I'm still getting used to, obviously, the soldering tip. It is a little bit big compared to the one that I would normally use. The screen's nice and bright. Obviously, the helping hands on there is nice as well. So if you're someone who's kind of enthusiast, hobbyist, a good soldering iron, especially if you're soldering your own stuff, is 110% benefit to you. Anything bad, I would say? Not really. I would have liked to have maybe seen a different soldering tip come with the handset, especially at the price point it's at. You know, maybe like a smaller soldering tip, you know, for the finer connections. But it is what it is. I'm pretty sure you can buy those additional soldering tips. I know these are replaceable. The station itself is very neat, very tidy, and very aesthetically pleasing, along with the Team Karate branding. It does come with, and I forgot to mention this earlier, it does come with a roll of solder as well. So, you know, obviously that's to get you going. But at the price point, I would definitely recommend it. You know, if you're someone who's going to be doing a lot of connections, a lot of motor connections, a lot of ESC connections, e.g. Maybe changing motor wires over, or soldering batteries, or changing from maybe like an XT90 to an EC5, or maybe even as far as going as connecting those QS8. 150 amp, and it's the footprint of the device is nice and small as well, so that's another bonus. I've seen some soldering irons, and they're like basically battery charging packs. You know, they're huge. But yeah, top marks, really like it. I hope I didn't botch up the demonstration too much. I am still trying to get used to where to put the camera and so on and so forth. I am currently investing in a close-up camera, so that is 110% going to aid, obviously, seeing things like this. But yeah, so far, guys, very happy with the purchase. This is going to help me and Rob out, you know, if I'm doing connections for other people as well. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Something a little bit different from the channel. Till next time, check the box for more videos. Stay awesome. I'll catch you later.